aftermath of Absolute Power, there are things that we will see at the end of Absolute Power that will help explain why there needs to be a unified Justice League again, not the least of which, a lot of the heroes at the end of Absolute Power are like, we might not have gotten caught flat-footed if we'd been the Justice League, if we'd been talking to each other, if we'd been working in tandem all this time. But now it's more imperative than ever that we communicate, that we come together as a community. So they build the Watchtower, and it is home to any superhero on Earth who wants to be part of the Justice League and wants to be part of that team. So that means, much like the cartoon show, Justice League Unlimited is Mission Impossible to some degree. It is, Wonder Woman going, okay, this is happening in Bolivia, and you're the best ones to tackle this problem.
Well, I was going to say, I think from your announcement, the most surprising character that I'm excited about was the inclusion of Star Sapphire amongst the team.
Yes, I know. Actually, it was a surprise to me too, but that's okay. Things happen. But I like that. I mean, we wanted to mix up the team a little bit. You can't do it. You got to be careful, because I think that if you look back historically over 60 years, the Justice League, whenever they relaunch, is never compelling if it's not at least a big chunk of the original 7. I mean, just history shows us, anytime you want to relaunch the Justice League and it's Aquaman and Vibe and, Gypsy and, Commander Steel, it might be interesting, but it won't sell. And so being able to anchor Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman in that book makes perfect sense, but who else can we play with? Black Lightning hasn't had anything to do for a while. Star Sapphire is an interesting play here. So that's, and Flash. So and that again is only part of the book, because again, we're going to be, they'll be on the team, but it's not necessarily those 7 or 8 every issue. It is just who's best for the gig. And is it Dr. Midnight? Is it, Hourman? Is it Big Barda? I don't know. So we'll see.
Well, you already mentioned your partner in crime. Dan is killing it with all of these designs,
totally
from Absolute Power to World's Finest.
Yep.
Just talk about your dynamics. Do you just throw out something and he gets to run with it, or how do you guys work together to craft these books? I do hand him full scripts, because he wants to see what's in my head, but he certainly has free reign to monkey with it. To do you want to break that page down differently? Do you want to see a different perspective on this moment? And he's fine with it. And again, he's great with that. And he sends me layouts every single morning, which is one of the best parts of my day. And two layouts every morning, because he does 2 pages a day. It's crazy.
A challenge to aspiring artists. He does 2 pages a day. So he'll send me the layouts, and we can talk at that moment. Oh gosh, you misunderstood this, or oh, that's so much better than what I had in mind. But it's an easy way to work, and he loves, in that George Perez sense, he loves drawing every character. So I'm constantly apologizing to him with Absolute Power about the fact that there are, and I'm not making this number up, 92 superheroes in this story. It just turns out we have a bigger bench than I thought we did. And he's just fine drawing all of them.
Well, World's Finest has been such an amazing read.
Thank you.
Honestly, every single month, that is the first thing on my list.
Thank you.
The moment it comes out, I sit down. I've been enjoying it. But the art style and the story have just worked so well.
Yeah.
It's just fun. And I love that.
Thank you. It's fun without looking retro.
Yeah.
I think that's the secret sauce here, is that obviously I do deep cuts and deep dives, but Dan makes everything look modern and makes it look contemporary, no matter whether it's a character from a year ago or whether it's a character who was invented 50 years ago.
And I appreciate the fact that it's so accessible
yes.
as well. You don't have to have the history, but the history, it comes through with each of the stories.
Exactly.
And the pages.
But that was the remit from DC, is give us a book with classic Superman, classic Batman that you can hand to anybody, where they have all the toys that we want them to have. They got the Daily Planet, they've got the Batcave, they've got, Alfred's around, whatever, all the toys that we associate with these characters. Let's do the classic versions. And that's been the most fun I think I've ever had writing anything in my life.
Well, the last thing I want to ask you about is the announcement of the Kingdom Come documentary.
Yeah.
That is also one of my favorite stories of all time.
Thank you.
But how does it feel getting to share that story, the behind-the-scenes piece?
It really does. It really feels good. I mean, and they were very respectful of my contribution to the book, of Alex's contribution, obviously, and we talked at great length. And I think that, having not seen the documentary yet, but having participated, my understanding from people who have seen a cut is, you're seeing a bunch of stuff you've never seen before, and you're learning some stuff behind the scenes that you've never known before.
And it's iconic.
And that's for you to say,
that's
not for me to say.
Mark, it's iconic.
Thank you.
It is incredible, but I love everything you guys have been putting out over the years. Between your work with Dan and your work, I grew up reading all of your books.
Thank you.
And getting to talk today is really one of the highlights of my con. So
I know it is, but no, thank you so much. And I've had a great time too. Thank you.